Hello, welcome back to Breezy Willow Acres. I'm Jay. Today we're going to be talking about what plants we're going to be planting for the spring of 2025. Basically, we're getting our garden ready here very shortly. We'll be starting our seeds, and we're just kind of go over through which plants we're going to be planting and hoping we get a good crop this year. It'll be our first official major planting. We did a little bit last year, just trying to prepare and see how we would do, condition of the soil, things like that. This year, things are a little bit more in control. We're gonna get a good sized garden going. We've got several green stalks and some planters that I built that we're gonna get some things in as well. But I'm just gonna kind of go down the list and break it up into different categories and see what we're gonna plant for this year. So first up is our tomato category, and we planted these last year in the green stock, and it was late in the summer, but we got some great cherry tomatoes out of here. We're going to be doing these white cherry tomatoes. Now, they're yellow, don't know why they call them white, but they were delicious. They weren't too tart, they weren't too tomato-y, they just had a wonderful flavor once they were ripe. It was just delicious. And this year we're going to try these Honeycomb Hybrids as well, see how they turn out. Never had them before, so we'll see how they go, and hope they're as good as the white cherry tomatoes. And then we're going to, of course, plant just a large cherry. So we'll have 3 different cherry tomato plants going this year, and we had these last year as well, and they were good, but the white cherries were by far our favorite. We're also going to try doing some ground cherries this year. We got to order those seeds here this week. But yeah, we're going to try some ground cherries and probably set them up in an area where we're going to kind of want perennial type things so that they can reseed themselves and they'll just grow back up and we won't have to worry about planting them on a regular basis anymore. Now for regular sized tomatoes, we're going to try the Marglobe, the Ponderosa Pink. We had some of these last year. They were delicious, great slicers. Let's see, we're gonna definitely do some romas. We wanna get some sauces in. Also a San Marzano, which is also another sauce type of tomato. And then our beefsteak. And we're gonna do some tomatillos. My wife loves cooking salsas and such, so we're going to try some tomatillos and get those made up as well, or grown up. Thank you. So next up we have our peppers. We're going to do a Grand Bell kind of mixed color pepper, and we're also going to do a hot salsa blend, which is going to have some Anaheim Hungarian wax, long slim red cayenne pepper, and some jalapeno. Mix in that. Going to plant some Serranos, which we did last year in one of our green stalks, and they came out really well. My wife Misty, she used them for quite a few different recipes, including chili, some hot sauces. They were just delicious. And then we're going to do some straight up jalapenos, and then we're going to try the California Wonder Pepper. We haven't tried this yet, but we're going to see how it goes. And we'll probably have 1 or 2 other different types of peppers. This is not an exhaustive list of everything we're going to do. My dad has some seeds that I haven't gone through yet. So we'll, Chinese 5-color pepper is definitely one we're going to plant this year as well. He has those seeds and he planted some, and wow, were they nice and spicy, delicious. If you want something hot, they're great for that. So next up we have our squash types. We're going to be doing a gray zucchini, a black beauty zucchini, a straight neck summer squash, and we're definitely going to be planting some butternut squash. It's one of my mom's favorites, so we're going to be getting those in the ground as well. And we might find another different type of summer squash to plant as well. We're not doing a huge amount of plants. We're just doing, 3 or 4 each. We don't have a large family, so we don't have a lot we don't have a lot of people eating things. We're going to preserve some stuff, but that'll be it for our squashes for this year though. Next up we have our cucumbers. Now we had probably 4 or 5 cucumber vines growing last year. We had so many cucumbers. We couldn't keep up with it once they really started producing, and we had planted them in June, so by August we were up to our necks in cucumbers, but we loved it. We've got some pickles going and just all sorts of different things we did with them. But here's our list of cucumbers. We're going to do a lemon cucumber. We did these last year. They were delicious, easy to grow, didn't have any problems with them. Going to do a garden sweet burpless for our salads. We did these as well and they were delicious. And we're going to do a national pickling cucumber, obvious reasons, pickling. And then the bait alpha, we're going to do those as well. We're going to try these out. We didn't do these last year, so we're going to try them out and see how they turn out. They have a pretty good size, about 8 inches or so. So we're looking forward to it. Next up, my wife loves eggplant. We're going to do at least 2 different types of eggplants this year. We're going to do a black beauty and we're going to do a long purple. I've never tried the long purples before, so I'm really interested to see what they're like. I've had the black beauties before. They're delicious. So we're going to get quite a few of these in the ground and see how they turn out. Hopefully she can make some eggplant parmesan and different things. I think she did I can't remember. She made something with one of the few eggplants we did get this year, and I can't remember what it's called. Baba ganoush. She made some baba ganoush. Oh my goodness, it was so delicious. If you've never tried it, you got to. We used a recipe from Roots and Refuge off her Farmer's Table YouTube page, I believe. So if you haven't tried it, check it out. So next up we have, I'm just going to do 3 groups here at once. First up is our herbs. Now our herbs, we're going to do some chamomile. We tried these this year. They didn't pan out too well. I think I got a few seeds left. Hopefully that we'll have enough to plant some of that. Going to do some sage. We're going to do some mint, and the mint is one of the ones we're going to put in the built planter boxes. We don't want it just spreading everywhere. We did plant some at the end of, in the fall, and it came out pretty good. And we've also got some cilantro in that same planter box that we planted it in. That came out really well. We got a couple of good sized plants before the frosts came in and pretty much killed most of it off. Then we're going to do several different types of basil. We've got a sweet basil, I don't know how that's Genovese basil, and we have a purple basil that's already been planted and seeded out in our main garden bed, and another type of basil I can't remember, but they'll both be popping up all over the place, and that'll be good. We like the basil. We're also going to do an oregano. I think that'll probably be in one of the green stalks. We have some now, but of course frost. And then we're going to do some flat leaf parsley and some dill. We love dill. We got to get some dill going here on the garden, and hopefully we'll get a nice section of that going. Now on top of that, we've got different types of flowers. First types of flowers we're going to do is we're going to do some sunflowers. Now with our goats, we feed them black oil sunflower seeds, and we usually get a 20-pound bag every 3 weeks for them. Found out that those seeds are actually viable to plant because we had some, rinsing off the bucket, we had some actually sprout up. So we're going to do some black oil sunflower seeds, and then we're going to do some interesting I think it's evening sun mixed color sunflower seeds, some autumn beauty sunflowers, which we did plant a few of those. They were gorgeous. And then we've got some mammoth sunflowers that we're going to plant. These came, they were big. And they were gorgeous as well. So we're looking forward to that. And then just for our, to help bring in some of the pollinators, we're going to plant some flowers. We're not trying to do a flower garden or anything like that, but we're going to plant some flowers around the garden just to help bring in some of the pollinators. We're going to try some zinnia, maybe some Shasta daisy. I'm still on the fence about this one. We'll see. Some black-eyed Susans. And then I guess technically these 2 are flowers, but they could also be herbs and ortiz. We've got some chives. They've got some beautiful purple flowers, and some echinacea. We all know that echinacea has some really good properties to it, so we want to have some of that growing on the farm and get that going. On top of that, I think we're also going to plant some amaranth. That's it. We're going to plant a red amaranth, I believe, is what we're going to do. Turns out that the seeds can actually be ground up and used for feed if you need to. Certain types of amaranth are good for the goats. There's others that are high in nitrates, so you can't use them, but the red amaranth is supposed to be safe for the goats in moderation. So as a backup plan, we can always use the seeds and stuff to help feed the goats with that. Next up is our melon category. So we're going to do some Hale's Best melons. I think these are both the same, but these are two different companies. This is from So Right, and then this one I believe we got is a Ferry Morse. I think it's the same thing. We'll probably just plant a couple of these each and just see how they go. And then we're going to do some Sugar Baby watermelons, some Crimson Sweet watermelon, and we're going to do some small sugar pumpkins and some Dutch fork pie pumpkin. Those seeds we actually got from an actual Dutch fork pumpkin that we brought back from Heather at Sage and Stone Homestead. So we're going to save the seeds off. We're going to plant them and see what we get. We've got a whole area outside of the main garden that we've designated for our melons, so they can kind of grow separate and they won't take over everything. It's kind of down on a slope, so it should be nice to just let them grow down there, and we'll see what we get. I'm looking forward to the pumpkins, and to be honest with you, I love cantaloupe, so I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, having some fresh cantaloupe would just be awesome. So this next list is pretty much just some of the other things. I just don't want to make one category for this because they really aren't related, but they didn't fit in with the other categories. We're going to try and grow some popcorn, some strawberry popcorn, probably off in a whole different area just so we keep cross-pollination from anything going. See how that works out. Gonna do some bush beans. We started that too late in the season this last year. We got a few out of our green stock and they were wonderful. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna try this in the green stock this year or if I'm gonna try this out in the garden. I might do both. I've got plenty of seeds left, so we'll just see. But they were so delicious, it's just hard not to plant these. We're gonna try some yellow sweet Spanish onions. I don't know. We might also plant some red onions because we like the spiciness of those. I just don't have any seeds for that yet. And we're gonna plant some Swiss chard. We planted the Swiss chard up in my dad's little garden this past summer, and I gotta tell you, this stuff was great. Even in the heat of August, for some reason, this variety did not get better. It kept growing and growing. We had 3 or 4 plants up there, and for me and my wife and my dad and my mom, we were able to eat some like maybe once a week each. So it was very prolific. It was very tasty. I'd recommend it. Now that by no means is an exhaustive list. I know it sounds like a lot. It looks like a lot. And I'm sitting here going, wow, that is just, how are we going to do all this for a year? I don't know. It's going to be fun. It's going to be our first year planting this much stuff all at once. Is it all going to work? I don't know. It's my first full year doing a full garden. So, we're going to give it a go. I'm still working on figuring out how to arrange the gardens, trellises here, there, how to arrange them, whether to run them north to south, east to west. Then, you got to figure out if it's north to south, what's in the back, it's a whole thing, folks. So I'm still working those details out. The main garden will be up here by our house, just off the pond. My dad's going to have his garden still as well. And plus we just put together a small 10 by 20 greenhouse that will probably be starting some of our starts in once I get one of the panels fixed. And we'll be growing some stuff in there as well. We'll probably be using that primarily this year in the fall and winter to do some of our brassicas and colder weather things, because we didn't really get any lettuces or broccolis or cauliflowers and Brussels sprouts grown like we wanted to. So we'll just have to see. But that's it. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you spending your time. And if you have any comments, suggestions, queries, please hit me up with them in the comments. Hit the subscribe button. Like this video if you would, if you liked it. And I hope you'll join us again for another video later. Everyone have a great day.